domestically and internationally over the last couple of weeks. But I've also been doing my own investigation into right-wing political parties in the UK. Obviously, I am right-wing. I'm a member of Advance UK. I'm the founder of Advance UK, in effect, because I founded the Integrity Party and passed that on to Ben, which he then changed and morphed into Advance UK. But I have been investigating predominantly Advance UK, to be honest, because there are problems within the party. Now, obviously, it's my baby, and I don't want to. It's hard to criticise something that you create. It's Ben who just.
Oh, we've got something else to cover. Hey, everybody. 22 people watching. I'm back again. I'm so hyped up. I'm pumped full of adrenaline now. So it's like, yeah, I'll just do another live stream. Paul Thorpe asked to come and debate. I'm not debating Paul Thorpe. He can go. I'm not getting involved in that drama anymore. I'm done with that drama now. It's over. And I just want to make this perfectly clear. The drama is over. I'm not interested in debating you people. There's nothing to debate. There really isn't. We don't agree on anything. I don't think we've got any common ground on anything. I think you're dishonest people. And what's the point in debating dishonest people? There isn't. I believe you're dishonest. I don't think you would argue in good faith. And that's why, no, I'm not going to debate you. You're public figures. I will criticise you, but I'm not going to debate you. There's no point to that at all. Yeah, I'll show you. I've got something else to play in a minute, because this is what I want to do. I've just seen something else. I don't want to make another video, so I'll just do another live stream. Paul Thorpe came in the chat of the last live stream when it finished and said, when do I get to come in? It's like, you don't. You don't. So that's it. I've got nothing to say to those people. If I thought they would argue in good faith, then maybe, but they won't. They won't argue in good faith, in my opinion. So, no. And it's not me being a coward. You know me. I'll take anybody on. But, yeah. As soon as the live stream was done, yeah, that says everything to me. But, right, there's something we want to look at, because there's a guy that created the Integrity Party that became the Advance UK. He's defected to Restore Britain. So I thought we could take a look at what he's saying about yeah. Why argue? This is no time for debates. You are on side or not. That's correct. I agree. The debate's been had and done, hasn't it? The debate's been done. Restore Britain has the momentum. It's the party that's moving forward. There's no debate about it. Advance UK is just dwindling to the wayside. Right. I want to go and take a look at this. So let's get it up on here. Right, we'll get rid of that. We don't need that. There's another guy that I want to cover as well. He's called, I'll have a look at him in a minute, actually. Back again, yes. I needed to end the stream and just calm down a little bit and chill out before I came back, really. I wasn't going to come back, but, I hope they have a forensic auditor on their side to vet the new guys. I think he's genuine. Yeah. Hey, everybody. How you all doing? Advance had a short, sad life. They did. Hello, back again. Yes. Right, we're going to cover something else. I'm moving away from the drama now. Anybody comes in the chat trying to cause drama, done. I won't tolerate it. You can chat all your way you want in the chat. I'm not going to acknowledge you. We're done with that now. We're done. Getting back to what this channel is actually about. This channel is actually about getting this country back and criticising the people who are trying to get in the way of that. And that includes people on the left and people on the right now, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. They made themselves public figures, so they are open to criticism. They could either like that or not. It's up to them. And they've still got a right to reply. They're quite welcome to address my videos in any way they wish to do so, and I will address them back. But as for a live debate, I don't see anything productive coming out of it, to be honest with you. It would just be a drama fest. I'm not interested in that at all. I tried to put that to one side tonight, tried to talk to my chat, and they won't let it go. They keep saying they want to let it go, but they won't let it go. So it's on them now. I've let it go. Done. Bye-bye. Gone. Not interested. The main focus of this channel is to get this country back. Get the country back, make our streets safe again, make our kids' futures bright and hopeful and not full of dread and fear of what's going to come for them. That's what this channel is about. It's not about sycophants arguing over bollocks. It's not. There's a time to discuss and a time to do. Clock's ticking. That's it. You got it. That's the one. Right. Let's get on. Let's get on with it. I've just seen something on X. It's very interesting. So I'm going to pull it up, and we can look at it. Chat, not chat. Bookmarks. Just bookmarked it. I will listen to this. I've not listened to this myself yet, so it'd be interesting for us all to have a listen to it. He said, from Integrity Party to Advance UK to Restore Britain. This is the founder of Integrity Party. He claims to have done an investigation into Advance UK. So let's listen to what he's got to say on this. Right, where are we? Yeah, here we go. There we go. I'm in the middle. I've not listened to this yet, so this is my first time listening to this. So I'm just as much in the dark as you guys. 8 minutes long. So let's listen to what he's got to say.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I know the last time I did a video, I said that I was going to be more active on social media and then proceeded to disappear for 2 weeks. But it's not without reason. Obviously, things have been a bit mad domestically and internationally over the last couple of weeks. But I've also been doing my own investigation into right-wing political parties in the UK. Now, obviously, I am right-wing. I'm a member of Advance UK. I'm the founder of Advance UK, in effect, because I founded the Integrity Party and passed that on to Ben, which he then changed and morphed into Advance UK. But I have been investigating predominantly Advance UK, to be honest, because there are problems within the party. Now, obviously, it's my baby, and I don't want to... It's hard to criticise something that you create. It's Ben who deserves all the credit for Advance UK. But there are problems with it now, big problems. And we need to talk about them. Because there are certain actors within the party who are really damaging it. Now, I'm not going to name names, but anybody who is close to the centre, you'll know what I'm talking about. And the constitution of Advance UK it's been breached several times, and the college is not functioning as it's supposed to, and the entire Welsh team have been completely crapped on, and in the northeast as well. It's a mess, and the leadership, including Ben himself, know some of the individuals who are causing problems, and they're actively facilitating them rather than stepping in. I like Ben. I think he is, I get on really well with him. I've got no personal gripe with Ben, but I don't like the way the party's going. So I have decided that I'm going to leave Advance UK. Now, in the last video I did, I criticised Rupert for the way he started up Restore Britain. And that was based on information I had at the time. Because when I started the Integrity Party, it was for Ben and Rupert. Ben was going to be the chairman, Rupert was going to lead it. That was the idea. And I was told that those negotiations were at a very advanced stage. and that Rupert had in fact agreed. Now, either through miscommunication or misdirection, that was not the case. So I owe Rupert an apology, and I am sorry. I now know that Rupert didn't start Restore Britain as a vainglorious attempt to gain power. He did it because he didn't feel like a merger with Advance UK was in his best interests. And following my investigation and now knowing what I know, I completely understand why. Advance UK it's rotting from the inside out. And if I thought I could stay and fix it, I would. Because I started that mess. I hope Ben does the right thing and closes the party down. I had reservations about Restore Britain because of some of the people that were gravitating towards it. But we had some of those same people gravitate towards us before Restore launched. The thing is, you can't control who is a member of a party, and you can't control who votes for a party. But Restore Britain are doing enough to keep those people out of the central decision-making process. Yes, they will go on social media and they'll speak for the party. Of course they will. But the fact is, Restore Britain is not a Nazi party. It's not a racist party. It's not ethno-nationalist to the core. Yeah, there's an element of ethno-nationalism, and that's okay. It's okay to be white. It's okay to be English. It's okay to be an Anglo-Saxon and be proud of that. And it's okay to want your country to remain predominantly Anglo-Saxon. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not racist. That's just common sense. It's perfectly all right to say, as Ben says, that it's a civic bond. It's culture. It's who we believe, who we feel we are, what values we aspire to that drives the nation forward. And that's great, and I agree with that. But to infer that there is no racial element to that, well, that's just silly. But to infer on the opposite end of the spectrum that it is all about race, that it's all about being a white Anglo-Saxon, that is wrong as well. Because that does not a country make. It does not a culture make. These things are intertwined. You can't have civic nationalism and ethno-nationalism completely separate. They're part of the same thing. And to go completely to one end of the spectrum or the other is wrong, and it's not going to work. So I can see what's going on there in Restore Britain. I get it. I don't get where Advance are going. It seems that Ben doesn't see the writing on the wall. There isn't room on the political right for two parties with exactly the same policies. And forgive me, but there is no real difference between Restore Britain and Advance UK in regards to policy. Restore Britain is by far the bigger party. It doesn't have the same rot within it that Advance does. There's no room for Advance. I'm going to join Restore Britain. I have joined Restore Britain. And I intend to do whatever I can now to push the cause forward. It's hard to let go of something that you start. Very hard. But I passed my party to Ben because I thought it was the right thing to do. And it was at the time. But now, it's time to support something different. And I would say to Ben, do the same. Do what I did. You built something, but now you've got to pass it off because it's what is necessary for this country. And it's going to be disappointing for the members. I get that. But we've got to do what is right. We've got to put the country first. I've got no party loyalty, none whatsoever. Party loyalty is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of. There's only loyalty to your family, to your country, and to your God. That's it. Do the right thing.
Well, wow. I don't know how I feel about that. I agree with some of what he said. I've heard about Richard Thompson. I've heard that he's good friends with Richard Inman. That's alarming to me. I don't want any kind of influence that he has going anywhere near Restore Britain, but we'll see what happens. I'm on the fence about this guy. I am. I don't think there's any red flags. I can't see any red flags. I think he's being genuine and honest. But I don't want any civnats anywhere near Restore Britain, because Restore Britain is a hard right party, and that's what we need. We need a hard right party, not some wishy-washy shit that I don't think it will be that. I don't think it will be that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think to that? I'm guessing Rupert trusted this guy in initial form in advance. Maybe this guy has seen how power has affected certain people. That could be true. Yeah, the thing I'm worried about is he jumping ship because he's seen that the fact that Advance is a dumpster fire and is just going to implode within the next few weeks, and he's seen the way the wind's blowing and decide to jump ship. I agree with that. I tend to think people have more integrity if they join from the very beginning and think, Advance isn't what I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? I'm a bit about that guy. Wanted to hear him out, hear what he got to say, but it sounds to me like jumping ship rather than a cause, if you know what I mean. He could well be genuine. This guy seemed genuine and seen the light just after a new career. It could be. He comes off with the lefties want yeah. I don't think they will. I think Rupert. I trust Rupert's judgment, and I think if this guy tries to try anything, I think he'll be out. I think Rupert won't hesitate to kick somebody out like that. So, yeah. Only time will tell, won't it? Only time will tell. Richard Shaw started the Integrity Party, yeah. Wasn't he a director? Wasn't he a director of Advance? He's part of the executive branch of Advance. You know what? I'm trying to get Paul Burgess to come and do an interview soon. So that would be an opportunity to ask him about this guy. And is he to be trusted? Sort of thing. Might be a good question to ask Paul Burgess. I'm also trying to line up an interview. We'll see what we can do with Rogue and Richie, the two people that were involved in the Welsh setup of Advance UK. They've reached out. They want to come on. So I'm going to get on, get these people to come on and give their side of things as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's the issue. I think that's the issue Rupert had with Advance UK was the college. Okie dokie. shall check it out. Right, so the next thing is I want to do a bit of a shout out for a young lad. He's trying to grow his channel. I know what that's like myself. You're just starting out. You're trying to get noticed and stuff. So I want to pay it forward. I want to give these prominent new young lads coming up through the ranks a fair crack at the whip. I want to do for them what I had done for me. So we'll have a look at this young lad. I think he was in the live stream tonight. So let's have a look at him. Get him up. I've watched this video. I'm not going to play his video. I'm just going to let you guys judge. You can go watch his content. If you want to subscribe to him, you subscribe to him. I'm just giving him, a platform to be noticed. So if you guys like him, you can go and sub to him. So it's this guy here. He's called The Blueprint. I think he was in the chat tonight. I'm sure he was. He's only got 36 subscribers. And we need new voices like this in the movement. We need to replace the people. You know what I mean? We need to replace the divisive people with people who actually want unity and to push this movement forward rather than try and stick a spanner in the works because they've got their own agendas. We need people like this speaking up. More and more young people speaking up and having a voice. And, I've got nothing but respect for people that get on camera and step up to the plate and start fighting back for this country. I've got nothing but respect for people like that. So I'm not going to play the video. I'm going to let you judge yourself. Go and check him out. It's called The Blueprint. Go and check his channel out. There we go, The Blueprint. I'll get the link to him, actually. And I'll drop it in the chat so you can go and see what he's about. If you like what he's doing, then by all means subscribe. And tell him who sent you. Let him know who sent you. Copy. I'll drop it in the chat. You can go and check him out. He seems like a decent guy. Listen to it. He makes common sense arguments. He's straight talking like I am, which I always appreciate. Go and check the young lad out. Yeah, I can see it. My eyes are really blurred tonight. I need to get glasses, I think. There we go. Go check him out. Yeah. I saw this morning after Paul Morris sent me there. Yeah, he seems like a really good guy. And yeah, bless him. It's always hard, Once you get to that first 100, you get a real pump of adrenaline. Really do. Nice one. Glad to see you all liking him. I sub to him. Nice one. Yes, new voices. Not more of the same. Yeah. Right, okay, so look at this. Two guys started Integrity Party. Richard Shaw was one of them. He's telling the truth. They passed it over to Ben. Clearly, Ben told them Rupert was coming when there was no such agreement. Right, okay. That makes a lot of sense. This is probably why all the Advanced UK members are really pissed off with Rupert, because they thought that he was coming across their party and there was no agreement. I mean, was this why Ben made that desperate merger video, which Rupert completely ignored? Because he knew, oh, well, that, maybe we can make it happen now. We can merge. Oh, dear. It's not good, is it? Rich and Rogue have been on Paul Thorpe channel since they left Advance. Yeah, I know they're friends with Paul, but I'm not going to hold that against them. I know I'm not even going to talk about the guy anymore. We're talking about the ins and outs of Advanced UK, because I think that's the threat. It needs to fold. And the more people that listen to what's been going off within Advanced and the issues that it had, the better. Paul Thorpe's just a tiny aspect of all of this. He's not the end and be all of everything. And it's time to move on from that now. That drama has come to an end. And, maybe they'll just drift off into obscurity too. I totally agree with that. Sunk his ship. Oh, they haven't. Okay, yeah. I won't. If they want to come in, I won't put them on the spot because obviously, they'll probably want to keep things close to their chest. I'm not going to ask them about personal feelings about certain people. That's not fair. So I'm just going to talk about the facts and what happened within advance and what really made them. I mean, I know some of the story because I've listened to what Paul Burgess had to say. But when you're talking to the people that have actually been through it, you get a lot more information, don't you? Yeah, I trust Rupert Lowe's judgment. So if he thinks this guy's okay, then he's okay. I don't think he would have got into the party if Rupert had any kind of doubt about him. I don't think he would have let him in, would he? No, they're not. Everybody has a point of view. Everybody needs to hear their stories. The reason why is because it may convince people that are still members of to jump ship once they hear what's actually been going on within there. Yeah. It has, hasn't it, really? It really has. It's sad to say. Yes, he is. For the neo-Nazi remark that she made about Restore Britain, which was out of order. Yeah, they are. I'm not going to be talking about them anymore. They're going to do their thing. I'm going to do my thing. I think we all know what their thing is. There's no need to talk about it anymore. I've covered all the arguments, and they're just doubling down on them. And there's no point. There's no point keep covering it all the time. They just keep doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. That's on them, isn't it? I can only address the arguments that they've made and the false accusations, the logical fallacies that they've done against people, which they have. They've done logical fallacies. I mean, to have Ben Habib in a live stream talking about how Restore Britain is going to deport him is just ridiculous. Richie and Rogue, generally, they won't engage with drama to create bitching, to fall out with people, which is fair enough. Whereas we don't need to watch and listen to egos that are fanaticists. Yeah, exactly. I'm not interested in that. I'm just really interested to hear their story. I'm really interested to hear Paul Burgess' story as well. That's all I'm interested in. I don't care about the petty infighting or anything like that was going off, because it quite obviously did happen, didn't it? But that's beside the point. Yeah, he's drifting off into obscurity, isn't he? He should be, but he's not. He's the man. He's the man to run the country into the ground, isn't he? Wait till after April, when Rachel from accounts, all her nice little budget policies come into play. You watch the country tank. Then it's going to nosedive. There's already signs. I mean, companies are preemptively shedding staff to get ready for those budget measures that are coming in. I've seen people with pubs. I know people that own pubs, and they've told me, they've said, our business rates are going to double this year from what they were last year. I've covered this before. So if they were paying, and this is just me hypothetically speaking, right? So say somebody in a pub was paying 20 grand in business rates. This year they're going to be paying 40 grand. In an already struggling business, it's just gonna put people out of business. The pub industry is going to collapse. The hospitality business is just going to tank, isn't it? Restaurants are going to close. Well, And it's not just the business, it's not just those businesses that will close, it's all the little businesses that rely on those businesses to function that will also close because they'll lose revenue. It's a knock-on effect, it's a domino effect. I've heard we've got a big distribution centre near us here, Amazon. They're laying people off. Amazon's laying people off. I think somewhere around the country they've already laid 16,000 people off. I don't think that's just from one area. I think that's from a few areas. 16,000 people lost their jobs from Amazon. They've blamed it on AI. They said AI's come into effect. It's not. They're shedding staff because they know what's coming. A lot of businesses are. Everybody's tightening the belts. They're not hiring people anymore. Unemployment's slowly rising. It's going to be a nightmare. This winter's going to be a nightmare as well. Because energy bills are going to go through the roof. Cost of living is going to spiral out of control because they don't know what they're doing. It's going to be crazy. Get ready for the economy to collapse. We've had crashes, we've had credit crunches and stuff like that, but we've never had a crash. The economy is going to crash. It is, and it's going to be scary. So we'll look. They have. Food prices have climbed. My takeaways are getting an extra tenner. Yeah. It's crazy times. Yeah. I don't think they'll get to that stage. I think we'll have hyperinflation. I think we're going to wake up one night and they're going to say, there's no more money left. Hyperinflation. They're going to print money till it's going out of fashion. And that's when their government will collapse. That's when they'll know they've done the job of destroying the country. Once the economy's gone, that's it, isn't it? It's done. Yeah, Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce is shifting. They're making fighter jet engines? They're shifting to America. What company in the right mind, and it's just business, right? What company in the right mind is going to stay and operate in a country with high taxes, with exceptionally high taxes? They're not going to do it, are they? They're going to shift production to places with lower taxes, so the bottom line doesn't get affected. It's just common sense. You can't blame the businesses for doing it. The Starmer regime isn't creating an atmosphere where businesses can compete. So they're just going to move abroad and take the business with them, and then we lose all the jobs. Yeah, fuel prices going up again. Pretty soon, people just won't be able to afford a car. I mean, that comes into effect in April, doesn't it? After April, the electric car pay per mile. So all those blokes that bought electric cars and turned them into taxis and thought they were saving a fortune, now they've got an extra overhead. Now they've got a new tax. They've got 2p per mile they've got to pay? No. You know, our taxes are going through the roof, and yet we're not getting decent services. The roads look like, I'll be honest with you, I've seen better roads in Iraq than some of the roads around here. I really have. And that's taken consideration. That's after IEDs have gone off and stuff like that. You know, I've seen bigger potholes here than in Iraq. It's crazy. We're not a first world country anymore. We're not a first world high trust society anymore. We're a third world low trust society now, brinkering on being a banana republic. We're not far off that, really, are we? Back to the old days, horse and carriage. That's probably why they've been building cycle lanes everywhere, because they know nobody's been able to afford a car. You'll see it'll be like China, where everybody's got a bike because they can't afford a car. Yeah. Right. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Does anybody want to come in? Does anyone come in and have a chat? If anyone wants to come in and have a chat, you can do so. Somebody say they're from Florida around here. Oh, somebody says want to move to Florida. I want to move to Florida. I think everybody wants to move to America. You know, what would you guys do, right? Say Donald Trump said, right, you know, I'm going to give refugee status to all Brits that want to come to this country. What would you honestly do? Be honest. Don't just say you'll stand and fight just because you want to look patriotic. If you knew, right, that say that Restore Britain didn't get into power and we had a Green, Liberal Democrat, Labour coalition government, what would you do? Would you stay and fight, or would you leave the country? Just, you know, get your family out and leave the country to new and greener pastures. What would you honestly do? Just let me know. Be interesting to know. Be off, go. I would stay and fight. That's just me. Yeah. I would go in a shot if there had an opportunity to go to the USA. I think, to be honest with you, I think most people would. The thing is, though, you say America has a worse problem. At least they have a government that's actually trying to tackle it. That's the difference between here and there, isn't it? At least they have Donald Trump there, and you know what? You can own a gun. You can go to a state and own a gun and defend your family over there. Plus, they have a constitution. So if there was an uprising, then you've got a right to self-defense. I think if I was going to, if I knew that things were so bad here, I'd get my family out, definitely. I'd get my family out. Because my first duty is to my family. I think I'd stay for a bit and see how things went. But if things were getting dicey and we saw society breaking down, we saw lawlessness on the streets, and it was getting beyond dangerous, I think everybody needs to make a decision at that point, don't they? Move warships to dry dock maintenance, then operation. We have 2 destroyers that can be deployed at any one time. Wow. You know, we used to rule the waves. You know, it's in the you know, rule Britannia. It's like, it's not that anymore, is it? I've heard some real horror stories from people. This bit 72. I'm too old to move, and I don't have a family. If I was under 30, I'd go. But I could move to Utah, BC, Canada, or any other place. It would have to. I'd have to move to a state where they allow gun ownership. Definitely. If I was going to go, I'd make sure that I could defend myself. Evening. Thing is, right, we should have 4 warships in the channel, really, shouldn't we? Turning the boats back. That's where they should be, like Australia did. You know what? When Australia started turning the boats back, they stopped coming. Don't forget to go and subscribe to, well, go and watch his content first, and then make an informed decision whether you want to subscribe to or not. But, you know, I'll leave that up to you. But yeah, don't forget this guy on the screen, the blueprint. I'm going to stop sharing now. So go and subscribe to the guy if you like his content. Give him a bit of a shout out. Give him a bit of a go. Bisbee, non-citizens can't own guns in the USA. You have to wait for citizenship. Right, okay. I'd go for citizenship then. I know. What is it? You can't own automatic weapons, can you? You can't own automatic weapons in the US. Is it semi-automatic? You can own. I think it is, isn't it? So it means I won't be able to own my faithful P90 then. I'd have to have one of those awful. I saw one in operation, and it was all right, but it wasn't like the full auto P90. It was the FN P9 SA. I think that's what it was called. That's its full name. I thought you couldn't own full auto. I thought they had rules against owning full automatic rifles. Or am I wrong about that? I'll be honest with you. If push came to shove, I'd make sure my family got to safety, and I'd probably fight. If it came to that, I'd probably fight. If things went really bad and it all went to hell, and let's say everything just broke down, no more government, no more police, it was complete anarchy, I think I'd stay and fight. No, I'm asking the question. I'm open to being wrong. I don't know. I don't know what the laws are over there. I don't know if they can own automatic rifles, but you say they can, so that's all right then. Okay, fair enough. It would collapse, wouldn't it? A green Liberal Democrat Labour alliance would just collapse. They'd be fighting amongst themselves within weeks. The only thing that bothers me is the Islamist element within it. That's the one that bothers me. Hey, mister, just looked at your previous stream where you picked a fight with Claire Bear, Paul Thorpe's moderator. What you did was wrong. You should be sorry for it. Paul did nothing to you. He's gone, oh, shut up. This is what I'm talking about. They can't let it go, can they? What's he doing? Is he on a live stream bitching and complaining again, trying to play the victim? I'm not even going to talk about it. Yeah? You can flap your gums in the chat, but you know you're done. Yeah? I think everybody saw what happened. Again, it's just you're just misinformed. You're misinformed about what happened. You haven't got a clue. You're white knighting and you're making yourself sound stupid. Bye-bye. What's up? What are you even on about, buddy? Yeah, I'm getting tired of it now. They just can't let it go. They've got to keep crying about it, haven't they? Because they've been shown to be what they are, liars. Let's get off this subject now. We're not going to let him drive the conversation. I don't like doing this, but Steve, if Steve the moderator is still in the chat, if you see anybody talking about this situation again, you got my permission to kick them, mate. Get them out. I'm not interested anymore. I don't care. Yeah. We've moved on from that now. It's quite obvious who the people are, right, who want to keep this going. They just can't let it go, can they, Gobster? They can't let it go. This is what I mean. It's like when they talk about unity. They talk about unity all the time, yet they do the exact opposite. They talk about moving on. They can't do it. It's like, just let it go. It's done with. Fucking hell. I swear it's coordinated trying to clip. Yeah, they're idiots. Yeah, of course they are. Right, I'm going to drop the link into the chat. Obviously, we might get some trolls coming in. If we do, whatever. See if anybody wants to come in for a chat. Quite welcome to come in for a chat. Does anybody want to buy? Supposed to beware of these troll bait. They will use any clips they can. Yeah. The thing is, right, the whole live stream saw what happened. I presented the evidence. They tried to get around it with, I don't know. I just don't care anymore. I don't care. Really don't care. The division is killing him, as he calls everybody. Yeah. Drop the link in the chat. If you want to come in, can do. I'll drop the link in again. It's boring now. It's like all the discussions have been had. Yeah, and they want to keep coming in. I mean, that guy, I mean, what was his name? Farty Pants. I mean, what I don't even know what to think of that, but there you go. But that's right. Then you live in their heads. Don't let them live in yours. That's very, very true. So, moving on from this, because I'm tired of talking about it and it's doing me head in, to be honest with you. I'm tired of him dominating the conversation. So, what do you think about the Starmer regime? Do you think that Keir Starmer is going to last his full term in office? Because I've got a theory. I've got a theory about Keir Starmer. Do you remember when we had all these rumours about there being a leadership battle? They were going to try and oust him from his leadership, right? Tom 00 News came up with this, right? This was his theory. He was saying that nobody is going to do a leadership challenge this close to the May elections. He says what they're going to do is they're going to wait for the May elections. They're going to wait for Labour to get absolutely destroyed in the May elections. And then once the May elections are over and Labour have lost more or less every council in the country, that's when they'll strike. That's when they'll get him. When he's at his very weakest, that's when they'll strike and try and oust him from power. Because nobody is going to want to take the leadership now, running up to these May elections, knowing that it's going to be a total disaster. Because anybody that takes the leadership role is going to have to take responsibility for the failure of it. That's what I think is going to happen anyway. Well, that's it. The thing is, right, whoever replaces him, it's going to get gradually worse. Because if it's David Lammy that replaces him, then we're in real trouble. But the only good side to that is it will tank the country faster. It will tank the country faster, and out he goes. And then we'll be left with Angela Rayner. She'll be gone fairly quickly because she hasn't got a clue. They're all no good. It'll just get gradually worse with each new person they put in because they won't be as capable as the other person before them. That's what will happen, in my opinion. And eventually they'll just have to admit defeat and they'll just call a general election. The government will collapse. Yeah, I think we're going to see lots of leaks. I think we're going to see leaked information first about that court case, and then they'll use the momentum of the disaster that the May elections are going to be for them to get him out. I think they'll try and do that. I agree with that. Even if you've never voted before, even if you've lost faith in the voting system, don't believe it works, this is an opportunity to make a difference. I mean, you know, we're not going to get a new government out of it, but we can definitely, you know, reduce the influence and power of the Labour Party to cause them to collapse. I think that's what we need to happen. We need their government to collapse completely, don't we? And that's a sure way to do it, is to kick the legs out from underneath them in these May elections. I mean, even if you can't bring yourself to vote for reform or anybody like that, then I said this in the morning walk video the other day. If you can't bring yourself to do that, then vote for your local independent. So somebody that you feel represents you and your worldview, because there are some independents out there that actually are on their own, but are talking sense, if you know what I mean. Vote for them if you can, because it's probably a good thing. You're going to have a restore. You're definitely going to have a Reform UK candidate. Some of you may have a UKIP candidate. If there's nobody else, vote UKIP. They're not going to do anything, but at least you could probably. It's a vote taken away from the others, isn't it? Doing that. Just make sure you don't vote for the Greens, Labour, Liberal Democrats, and the Conservatives. Don't vote for any of those people. Just vote for your independents or your UKIPs or your other ones. Definitely don't vote for Reform, because they're just the uni party. That's the difference, though, isn't it? Right, look at what happened. The media was against him. You know, if you want to take a government down, you've got to have a strong free press to do it, because they talk, they speak truth to power. That's what I mean. That's what a free press is supposed to do. But we don't have a free press anymore, do we? They're just the globalists. They're just globalist stooges, aren't they? At this point, and that's why he's stayed in up until now, Keir Starmer, because he's not being held to account by the mainstream media. Let's face it, he goes into Prime Minister's question times and he knows he's not going to get a rough time, because he's facing the most weakest opposition we've ever seen. So he knows he's going to get away with it. Yeah, they operate. I mean, it's Blairism, isn't it? It's Blairism. It's been like this since 1997. Consecutive governments. David Cameron, Blairism, didn't do anything. Same sort of stuff. And you know what? After the pantomime of Westminster, they all go and have a drink at our expense in the bar, the taxpayer subsidised bar that they've got. They'll go and have a drink in there and talk and chat and laugh about how they've pulled the wool over our eyes and laugh at us for the pantomime they've put on. Say, oh yeah, the global idiots, they'll never rise up. We've seen to that. They'll never rise up. We've seen to that because we've divided them all up into little groups and they've got them all fighting against each other. I know people talk about people on benefits being scroungers, but the biggest scroungers in this country are the MPs. Look at their expenses. You can actually go online and look at their expenses. They have to be transparent. You can see what they're buying, and you've got to look at what they're buying with your money. You work all hours God send, get a pittance at the end of it in your wage packet, and then they're just like pissing it down the toilet with champagne and living the life of Riley. Well, we're just tax cows. That's all we are. We're just tax cows. And once one dies, we'll just replace him with another one. You're just a number. They don't care about you. We're all just numbers, really. That's the biggest reality. We're just a number to them. I said this as well. The MPs are supposed to serve us. That's what Parliament is. Parliament is basically, it's the replacement of the king. So the king's power was transferred to the Parliament. The reality is that power is ours. The power should have transferred to the people, which it has. Parliament isn't sovereign. We are. The people are sovereign. And every general election, we loan them that power to form a government. That's what we do with our vote, because we are governed by consent, and that consent is in the form of us voting for them. We're choosing for who we want to govern us. That we're exercising that sovereign power by choosing the people we want to govern over us. Now, somewhere along the line, it's got turned around, because now those, I'll say 649, because Rupert Lowe doesn't think that way, those 649 people in Parliament now think that we serve them. So what's happened is Parliament was supposed to give the commoners a voice. It was supposed to replace the feudal system. But what's happened is we've gone back to a return to the feudal system. The new feudal lords are actually Parliament, the MPs, because they think we serve them. That's what it is. And I didn't really think about this till the other day. I was listening to a podcast, The Lotus Eaters, and Carl Benjamin, and he was talking about this. And he says, what these people don't understand is, what these MPs don't get is that Parliament not only replaced the monarch, it replaced war. Parliament is there to replace war, because before we had a Parliament, it was just tribal infighting, where you would have lords going to war with the lords to claim land and stuff like that. Parliament was supposed to be a better way of solving disputes, where you go into a building, you debate things, and things get sorted that way. I'm 52. Well, I'm 52 on Thursday. It's my birthday on Thursday. I'm 52 on Thursday, and I keep fit. I think that's my thing. I've always been fit. So, yeah. Yeah, that's the only time. The only time you will see Parliament full is when they get the pay rise. So I'm just reading the chat. There we go. This is it. All MPs getting a £5,000 pay rise. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice when you're the person that goes in Parliament to vote on your own pay rise. You know what? That should be put to us, really, shouldn't it? The people. We should decide if they get a pay rise or not. There should be a referendum. And maybe that could be a way to hold Parliament to account. We control how much money you get. If you do a poor job, then we can vote on reducing your pay. That's what it should be like. We should be the ones voting on their pay rise. That way, we hold them to account, and they have to do what we want them to do. Sure, stick it out, have some direct democracy like they do. Or is it Switzerland or Holland where they have direct? It's Switzerland, isn't it, where they have direct democracy, where they have referendums all the time. So if can you imagine what they would do? There's a referendum on your pay rise. You better do as we say, or you're going to be getting nothing. Right, guys, I've been on an hour. I'm getting tired. It's getting towards 11 o'clock at night. I think I'm done. So, yeah, thanks for coming along. Really appreciate it. I think I'm going to try and get some sleep, or at least chill out for a bit before I go to bed. So, thank you for coming along. It's amazing. It's amazing. You're truly amazing. 120 people with an off-the-cuff live stream. I love it. Great. Right, I shall see you all in the morning walk video tomorrow. This is Vindicator signing off.